Hi, I'm Chase from VGHL, and we're here with TSTV, and I'm here interviewing about Pathologic 2 with...
I'm Keith from tinyBuild.
So Pathologic 2 is a sequel or a remake to the original Pathologic?
So it is a sequel. The story is not exactly intertwined. It kind of just does its own thing, but it is the secondary of the series.
Yeah, so I was playing the game a little bit earlier yesterday. I sat down for like 40 minutes. So I really wanted to play it.
Awesome.
And it was kind of like, it seems to be like hinting at the first one, but also changing a lot to make it a sequel. It's interesting because I've always liked the original for being this weird and kind of surrealistic video game, and so I'm always excited to see what this team will do specifically with it. And do you know like what big changes they're trying to bring for a sequel?
I mean, I don't know if it's like direct changes that they're looking for. They kind of built a story that they're actually trying to capture, and they're really going at it. Like the story is super in depth. They definitely kept it creepy. They kept it weird, and I mean, I mean, like when you read more and more into the story, you get really deep into it. So,
are there any like, I mean, I know they're not huge game, but there's like a lot of gameplay change, or what's the idea behind like changing what they had already, or like where are they trying to like more capture from the story with like their gameplay changes?
I'd probably say. I think it's honestly just trying to capture the feeling and the mood of the story. Gotcha. So the game starts off like in a really eerie state. You're walking into this town. You find out your father has passed away, and you're really just trying to discover what's going on. So they stick to like how confused and how creepy everything's going. And I mean, you're just trying to help the people, trying to figure out what's going on, and they start turning against you type of deal. And You run into weird people out there, and they make you feel super uncomfortable. They'll start attacking you randomly in the street. Like it's like I said, the main goal of it is just to tell this really weird story. Yeah. So
one of the really cool things to me about the game is how your character knows about the world without you knowing. So like dialogue options will present themselves like, I've been here, I've done this all before, and they're all three like different variations of if you don't know what's going on, but I do, and you're trying to like play the character. It's really cool.
It's interesting.
I know off the bat there were 3 playable characters in the original. Is that going to be the same for this game?
Ooh, so this one, I don't think you actually end up playing multiple characters. You might see things from different vantage points, but you start off as the single character going into this town trying to help as many people as you can, and just figuring out what happened to your dad. Yeah. And it tells that story. You definitely do have some interesting events happen where it either feels like a flashback or it feels like you've been like transformed to a different place type of deal. And I mean, it's interesting. So it's definitely different vantage points, but that's more for the story to be found out.
Gotcha.
So.
One of the things I noticed when I was playing right away was you're like picking up clues now, and they're like presenting themselves like a spider work, and like almost like, hey, you talk to this person, they're going to tell you like there's a clay golem around here, and then like actually that just becomes this, or like who died? Oh, that was actually my dad who died. Is there anything like else they're adding to kind of like try to make it feel like you're discovering stuff or you're finding things like more to that system?
So like what you were saying, it's kind of like a spider web where you're discovering certain things and they'll actually appear on. It's weird. Like you described it right. It's almost like a web work, and it kind of looks like a talent tree almost. Yeah. As you discover things, it'll fill in these question marks and tell you the story of what's happening, and everything remains a mystery until you're discovering more. So the more of these discoveries that are popping up on this map, the more you're starting to understand what's happening. And like you said, the character seems to know what's going on, and you're just trying to fill in the details. Towards adding more things in Discovery, it's still partially a survival type style game, right? So discovering like who can be helped, who's actually bad people, who can help you. You know, you need to find water and food and all that stuff, right? So that still plays a part in the discovery aspect of the game.
Okay. One of like my favorite things, and I think everyone's favorite thing, is just the dialogue in the game being very at some points being like fourth wall breaking, and at the same time very much like actually putting you in the world, like jokingly like being, or not jokingly being like, hey, we're going to find food to survive because you need food to survive, but also like for trading things like pointy objects are great for, like, kids love pointy objects, to like let you the player know, and then also let you the player know, and also like it fits thematically for like what they're telling the person themselves there. One of the big things, are they adding any more characters, or are they just keeping that core story just the same, which was a great story by itself?
The core story should be remaining intact. However, that fourth wall break is almost there. It's almost like strongly hinting on things that should be done because of other, quests, things that you're doing along the path of the story need to be discovered. So it's almost like, strong hint, do this type of deal. And you as the player, you're like, it looks like I should do that. And it definitely it brings you more into the story, discovering that spiderweb aspect, making things make more sense. So,
all right, thank you so much. This has been Chase with VGHL.